Welcome to the program. The Rivers State local government elections is set for this Saturday, October 5th. Tensions are already high across the state following political rivalry that has lasted for the better part of this year. In a broadcast earlier today, Governor Sim Fubara reaffirmed his administration's commitment to conducting free, fair and credible elections. He said this is in compliance with both the Supreme Court and the Rivers State High Court judgments. He stressed that elections must take place to uphold democratic governance at the local level. According to him, failure to do so could lead to severe consequences, including the withholding of statutory allocations to the local governments. The Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission has also expressed readiness to conduct the elections, with 17 out of 18 political parties fielding candidates. However, with political tensions running high, there are concerns about how things will unfold. How will this exercise go on Saturday? Well, for more on this, I'm joined in the studio by Ms. Ann-Kio Briggs, a human rights activist and convener of the Niger Delta Self-Determination Movement. Glad to have you today.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
Good evening. Let's start with how you feel. Your state, Rivers, has been in the news for much of this year for the wrong reasons, for political crisis, political tension. How does that make you feel as a citizen of Rivers State?
Heartbroken. This is a state that ordinarily is a very peaceful state from time immemorial, from when I was a little girl. The fact that we find ourselves in this political, what I will call political madness, is unacceptable to the people of Rivers State. It should be unacceptable to Nigeria as a country, because anything whatsoever that will destabilize the state, Rivers State, will affect Niger Delta as a whole. It will affect the federal government. The government of Nigeria will be affected if you are able to, if we're able to appreciate just how much funds the Rivers State contributes to the coffers of Nigeria. And the fact that we find ourselves, the electorate, find ourselves in this situation where it seems like there is a determination to make sure that Rivers State collapses is baffling, is unacceptable, and we will continue to do what we can to make sure that justice and equity prevails in Rivers State.
You know, you use the word political madness, and a lot of people will agree with you. And so from your perspective, what is the heart of the issue? You know, what is at the heart of the conundrum? What factors are driving it?
Well, when the story broke last year that the governor of Rivers State, Governor Fubara, was going to be impeached, it came as a shock to the people of Rivers State. I think it came as a shock to the governor because he kept asking, what have I done? Now, stepping back from that, because we were in shock, but now a lot of stories have come out, and the first claim is that the former governor is responsible for the emergence of the present governor, Governor Fubara, which is not untrue, but one human being cannot make one person a governor of a state. That mathematically is not right. Everybody has one vote. Now, what the former governor of Rivers State did, and which he accepted that he did, that he bought 14 forms for 14 persons, of which Similaye Fubara was one of them. At some stage, everybody else was told to drop their ambition for Similaye Fubara. Now, there is a political dichotomy in Rivers State, and that's why Similaye Fubara, who is from a particular ethnic group, was given the ticket. We have an upland riverine dichotomy in Rivers State. And whatever may have transpired between the former governor and the present governor is not the problem of Rivers people, because we did not go into that agreement, as the former governor calls it,
right,
or understanding with the present governor and the former governor.
Okay.
Now, we have become, along with the present governor, the victims. The state itself is now held hostage, along with the people of Rivers State, along with the governor of Rivers State, and every other person who is in the governor's, the present governor's cabinet. And so we are definitely not in agreement,
right,
with whatever that is going on.
So, you know, from what you have explained, there's obviously a deadlock. So how do you view the way that the governor has handled this situation?
The present governor is a quiet human being, is a gentle human being, is a humble human being. A lot of people have blamed him that at the beginning of it, people were saying, oh, he wasn't exercising his powers, that he has a lot of powers as a governor. If that be true, and to some it is, it shows that he exercised a lot of restraint, to the extent that he was called all sorts of names. I mean, newspapers and television studios were carrying the things that were being said about him, which, out of respect to him and the office that he holds, I won't repeat, because quite honestly, they are unrepeatable. You cannot refer to the governor of a state that is elected in those terms. So he exercised and continues, in my opinion, to exercise all the restraint that is possible. But we must not forget that Governor Similaye Fubara is a human being first, right, before he's a governor. And
so how would you also assess the way that the Minister of the FCT, Wike, is handling the crisis as well? Those are the two big players.
Yes. Sadly, for me, because I know both parties, I'm not a politician, but I am interested in what politicians do in my name, because it affects me. I'm from Rivers State. The former governor is the former governor. Whether he single-handedly, which is difficult, if not impossible, to bring a governor single-handedly, because somebody must support somebody. And if he supported him, for whatever reason he supported him, I'm still yet to grasp exactly where they went their separate ways. Now, being the former governor and being the governor that brought Similaye Fubara, just the same way the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, and his wife, the First Lady, who is also the daughter of Rivers State, also brought the former governor. And there are videos to show that, and how the role the former governor, Dr. Peter Odili, also played in leading up to the FCT minister becoming the governor of Rivers State, which is where the issue of the dichotomy that we're talking about, because we have an upland riverine dichotomy. The upland takes, then the riverine take, but Amechi was an upland candidate, plus he was from the same ethnic group as the FCT minister when he became the governor of Rivers State. So there was a back-to-back of the same ethnic nationality governing Rivers State. There was back-to-back of the same dichotomy governing, which is the upland, Rivers State. And so if today the riverine governor is now the governor, I think it is just and it is fair that we should have a riverine governor. And whatever has led up to this, what I call madness, political madness, because you have people coming in from all states, like last weekend, there were governors from the north that came in to be part of what happened in Rivers State, where some persons of a particular ethnic nationality that happens to be the ethnic nationality of the governor of Rivers State came in and said all kinds of derogatory things and made claims that are not real, because we have INC, which is the Ijaw National Congress, and we have the IYC, which is the Ijaw Youth Council, and the word Congress cannot apply to any other body but the mother body, which is the Ijaw National Congress. So to say that Ijaw sons and daughters, kings and chiefs gathered to apologize on behalf of the governor, Sim Fubara, is disrespectful to the governor and disrespectful and unacceptable to the people of that ethnic nationality.
Let's go to the upcoming elections on Saturday. There were attempts to stop it with a court injunctions. Now, Federal High Court Rivers Division has ruled it has to go on. There was a little bit of confusion. What is your take on all of this? Because that election is important.
Well, of course it is important. It's a local government election. I'm from a local government. And we are all primarily from a local government before we're from a state. And so to find ourselves in a situation where the court has said that Rivers State governor has a right to conduct this election, along with other states that have not conducted, Akwa Ibom and some other, I think Imo, I'm not sure, some of the other states are going to conduct elections. I see no reason why we, my local government, and the other 22 local government, making it 23, including the former governor's local government, should be deprived of selecting, choosing, and voting for whoever they choose for, on whatever political party. It can be APC, it can be PDP, it can be APP, it can be any political party.
But you do know that there was a protest earlier today. Factions of the APC and the PDP said they will boycott the polls, and they are protesting. They don't want it to happen. Doesn't that present a problem? Probably a looming court case, you know.
Well, you see, this is the madness that I'm talking about. I mean, very clearly, there is a right for the governor of Rivers State, Similaye Fubara, to hold an election that will give him local government chairman in his 23 local government areas that are in Rivers State. Now, you have a situation where a faction of the PDP is saying they will boycott the election. So what? A faction of the APC is saying they will boycott the election. So what? I want to take this moment before I continue to call again and again on the security, the internal security, that is the National Security Advisor and the federal government and the police, to look at what is about to happen in River State. You're dealing with human beings. You have a situation where some people are imposing their personal ideas and reasons and political inclinations, hopes and aspirations on other persons who have a right to conduct an election. Now, if we allow this to continue, it will not end peacefully.
Right.
It will end in violence.
And talking about the violence, what do you think this instability does to voter confidence and political participation? Are you expecting the people to come out on Saturday? You know, from your experience, what do you think will happen?
From my experience, and because I'm also a human being, I'm a mother and I'm a grandmother, I'm an auntie, I'm a friend. Now, I wouldn't want anybody, from the governor all the way down to the voters and the local government chairman, to be hurt just because people choose to exercise their basic human right to vote for a candidate of their choice, and to allow people's political interference to carry on. I mean, if you look at what is going on, you can see the hands of Esau and the voice of Jacob, I think, where it's very clear some people are determined to flex federal government muscles. Federal government muscles belongs to federal government. But if you are in a state and you have access to federal government muscles, then of course you can flex it.
Yes.
But we will hold both the federal government, the police, the National Security Advisor, and the president responsible if they do not do their constitutional duty. What is their constitutional duty? Their constitutional duty is to allow the governor to do his constitutional duty to make sure that this election takes place in his state and that people like myself and so many others who choose to vote, there are people who will choose not to vote, but who choose to vote are not denied the access to vote, because we need to have local government chairmen in our 23 local government areas. Otherwise, the local government is not going to be funded. Already, we have the crisis of, from the moment the tenure of the local government chairmen were up, the federal police, the IG, from what I understood, had ordered the occupation of the local government offices, and so there is nothing going on within the enclave of the local government. Whatever work is being performed by the acting local government chairman pending the elected local government chairman is being done outside of their offices.
I want to ask you one last question very briefly. What's your view on this new party, the Action People's Party, on whose platform most of the local government chairman and councillorship elections are going on? We hear it's also being supported by the governor. Very quickly.
It wouldn't surprise me that that it would be seen, because PDP is not participating. That does not mean that people who want to go and present themselves to the local government, the people of the local government, should not do so. If APC are not willing to project candidates, and if the PDP is not willing to project candidates, I see no reason why I cannot, or anybody else cannot, buy a ticket to project themselves from another political party. It is the responsibility of the the governor of Rivers State to make sure that he is accountable to make sure that the election is held. If the election is not held, we cannot hold Governor Similaye Fubara responsible.
Ms. Ann-Kio Briggs, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.